You know that feeling when you're caught between a past you can't go back to and a future you're not quite ready for? Well, we're about to dive into a powerful short story that basically gives a name and a place to that exact feeling. This isn't just a simple retelling. We're going to journey into this amazing allegory about grief, memory, and just how hard it is to let go and move forward.
I mean, just listen to this opening line. The bus arrived at 11:58 p.m., 2 minutes early and 20 years late. Right off the bat, it throws you completely off balance. So we meet our main character, Jonah, at this totally forgotten bus stop. He's there because of this cryptic note from his late grandfather telling him to catch a bus that, let's be honest, should not exist. That one sentence just perfectly nails that feeling of being stuck, of waiting for something that feels both way too soon and way, way too late. And then it actually shows up. Bus 47B, a complete phantom, not on any map. The driver's words are short, almost like a challenge. Get on or don't. We don't wait. There's no time to think about it. You get the sense this isn't just a bus ride. It's an appointment Jonah has to keep. And so, he gets on.
The second those doors hiss shut, the rules of the real world just bend. The bus doesn't follow the road. It drives straight into a landscape made of pure memory. This is the moment of transition. Jonah has officially left the world he knows and has stepped into a place that exists somewhere between the past and the future, between what was and what's going to be.
And the atmosphere inside this bus, you can practically feel it. It smells of dust, pine, and old libraries. Outside the windows, the stars are all wrong. And the passengers, they're a huge part of this. Nobody's talking. They're all just locked in their own private worlds. You've got a woman clutching a wedding ring, a little boy with a backpack that's way too big for him. They're all fellow travelers in this strange, silent waiting room.
So, this bus is a perfect example of what's known as a liminal space. It's basically a fancy term for being in between. Think about a doorway, or that weird quiet moment right before you drift off to sleep. The bus becomes this physical version of grief itself, that feeling of being stuck, right? You're not in the past anymore, but you can't quite step into the future either. It's a feeling we find in any huge life change, not just loss.
And here's where the story gets really clever. This journey isn't just through some magical space, it's a journey through emotion. We start to see that the bus stops themselves are the whole point. They aren't named after cities or streets, but after feelings, regret, longing, all the what-ifs. Each stop is a real, physical place built entirely out of a passenger's personal history.
And we just watch this process happen. At the stop called What Might Have Been, the woman with the wedding ring gets off, drawn toward a life she never got to live. At If Only, a man literally runs towards a vision of a happy home he probably left. And with every stop, the road not taken, almost, one more chance, another person is pulled back into their own past, and the bus just gets quieter and emptier.
So this raises the big question that's just hanging in the air the whole time. And it's actually voiced by the little boy on the bus. What's the real danger here? I mean, these stops look beautiful, they're so tempting, offering this perfect little slice of what was lost. But what's the actual cost of staying in that memory for just a little too long?
And the answer is, honestly, it's chilling. You forget why you ever left. The danger isn't that the memory will disappear. The danger is that the present will. If you stay too long in the land of what might have been, you lose your grip on reality. You just forget the life you're actually supposed to be living. It's such a powerful warning about how seductive regret can be. And then, finally, the bus announces Jonah's stop. Yesterday. This is it. This is what his grandfather's note was all about. It's not some vague stop about regret in general. This is a direct, head-on confrontation with the very source of his grief.
He steps off the bus and he's not in some hazy dream. It's a fully realized moment. You can practically smell the oil and cedar. You can hear the radio humming. And his grandfather's just there, solid, real. It feels so perfect, and the temptation to just stay, to pretend none of the bad stuff ever happened, must be overwhelming.
But his grandfather is there to give him wisdom, not just a hug, and his first words are this stark warning, careful, this place feeds on should'ves. He's basically explaining that this memory, this entire magical bus route, is powered by the very thing that paralyzes us. All the, I should have visited more, I should have said this, it's a trap, and self-blame is the bait.
And here it is. This is the absolute core message of the entire story. The reason you visit the past isn't to change it, because you can't. The whole point is to understand it, to process it, and to learn from it.
This gets to the heart of what healthy grieving is all about. You don't try to rewrite history, you just try to make peace with it.
And Jonah, he gets it. He makes this incredibly tough but totally necessary choice. He takes his grandfather's wisdom to heart, and with one last moment of connection, a squeeze on the shoulder, he turns away. He runs back to the bus, back to the journey forward, and leaves the ghost of his grandfather in the past, right where he belongs.
So now the bus is almost empty. It's just Jonah, the little boy who seems to get all the rules, and the driver. The tour through the lands of regret is over. There's only one destination left on this impossible route, and it's the one everyone is ultimately trying to get to.
And you can see this really powerful contrast here, right? All the stops in the past were like these glowing, magical towns. They were beautiful and alluring, but ultimately they were unreal traps. Tomorrow, though, is totally different. It's not a big spectacle. It's just a simple crossroads. It's unadorned and it's real. It doesn't feed on your regret. It requires you to make a choice to walk toward it.
Jonah's question is the one we'd all ask. What is the future? What's it like? And the answer from the boy is just so beautifully simple. You get off. Tomorrow isn't some magical place you get to visit. It's the point where the journey through your memories finally ends and your actual life begins again. It's the exit.
And just like that, he's back. The impossible bus just vanishes. The world around him becomes solid again. A street light flickers and then holds steady. The sun is coming up, birds are starting to sing. He has returned. But he's not the same. In his pocket is his grandfather's watch, and it's ticking. A real, tangible piece of the past that's now powering his present. It's not a memory holding him back anymore. It's one that's pushing him forward.
And that's the final piece of the puzzle. Jonah's journey is complete. He faced his past, he understood it, and he made peace with it. And that final act of just walking forward without looking over his shoulder, it says everything. It's about his acceptance and his readiness to finally live in the tomorrow that he chose. So this whole story uses this incredible, magical bus to explore a feeling that is completely universal, which kind of brings the question back to all of us. If you got on bus 47B, what would your stop be called? Would it be what might have been, one more chance, yesterday? It's a really powerful way to think about our own relationship with our past, and maybe to ask ourselves if we're just visiting or if we might be in danger of staying a little too long.